The coolest feature in this car has to go to the blind spot cameras. I wish more automakers would implement this. So say, for example, I don't want to turn my head and look at my blind spot on the left or the right. I just hit the indicator and there's a camera that shows up on either side. And it is crystal clear. I've been using it nonstop and it's an amazing feature. I really hope more automakers implement this into their cars. It is very, very luxurious. I would say it is one of the most luxurious options in the segment. Originally, the Mazda CX-9 and the Kia Telluride were my top crossovers, and now I'm adding the Hyundai Palisade to round out my top 3. Honestly, if you get rid of the Hyundai badge and you get rid of your badge bias, let's just get rid of that and replace it with the luxury brand, you wouldn't think twice about it because this is just as good as a luxury car. Pricing for the Hyundai Palisade starts at $31,550 for the SE model and $44,700 for the limited model as seen here. And as tested, as equipped, as you see it here, you're right above $47,000. And that's a lot of bang for your buck for the amount of car and luxury and features that you're getting. Power comes from a 3.8 liter V6 making 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque, and that's made it to an 8-speed automatic. All Hyundai Palisade models come with front-wheel drive as standard, and you can get all-wheel drive for an additional $1,700. 0 to 60 comes in at 7.3 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. That is pretty good for the segment, on the quicker side of most of its competitors. This segment is loaded with options. So you have the Chevy Traverse, you have the GMC Acadia, you have the Honda Pilot, you have the Kia Telluride, the Hyundai Palisade, Nissan Pathfinder, Mazda CX-9, Ford Explorer, Volkswagen Atlas, Toyota Highlander. The list goes on and on. But as you can see from the 3P comparison here, the Hyundai Palisade is pretty competitively priced. And in terms of performance, it's pretty much with the segment. I don't think anybody in this segment is really looking for a quick 0 to 60. They're looking for something comfortable, something roomy enough for their family. And the Hyundai Palisade ticks all those boxes. Fuel economy for the Hyundai Palisade comes in at 19 city and 24 highway. And that's for the all-wheel drive model. I am averaging, let's see here, just press OK, 19.5 miles a gallon. Tank capacity comes in at 18.8 gallons. I filled it up once and I paid about $35, so not terrible. I like the design, it's not bad at all. The Hyundai Palisade does go for the more luxurious look, while the Kia Telluride is, in my opinion, more handsome, more brawny. So if you're looking for something tough and cool, go for the Kia Telluride. If you're looking for something luxurious and elegant, the Hyundai Palisade will do the trick for you. Let's check out the trunk. So to open it, there's a little button here and it's automatic. It's going up now. So behind the third row, excuse my stuff there, behind the third row you have 18 cubic feet of space, and with everything folded you can maximize it out to 86.4 cubic feet. So how does all this work? Now the third row is automated, so let's fold down the third row, and there it goes. Takes a minute. It's a bit slow. I would rather have a quick manual folding one, but that's cool. Now the second row is a mechanical release. So I push that button. There goes the left side, and there goes the right side. And now you have 86.4 cubic feet of space to play with. Yep, so this is an interior of a Hyundai. So it is getting really hard to tell the difference between the interior of a Hyundai, Kia, or Genesis. Genesis is a little bit step above the rest, but at the same time, this cabin has all the luxurious materials you would see in a Genesis as well. You have quilted leather trim all around the car. On the seats, they're Napa leather seats. You have Alcantara on the roof here, on the headliner. Then you have aluminum buttons. You have squishy, soft touch materials all around. Aluminum trim, wood grains. So it is a very, very classy interior. Very nice for this segment. And I love the way Hyundai really packages their interiors. There isn't any massive amounts of options or packages you can get. If you go for the SE base model, SEL, or the high-end limited, it comes pre-packaged with most of everything you need from that trim and what you're paying for. Only the SEL model really gets some options to kind of make it closer to the limited for those that don't want to pay that much, but overall, outstanding interior, very impressed. So the SE and the SEL get a regular gauge cluster, while the limited gets this 12.3-inch digital cluster screen. Everything is all digital. You can circle through some menu options, so let's go through them. This is the driver assist screen. Then you can go to a compass, a navigation screen, and a bunch of other information. So on this fuel economy screen, you can go through a bunch of other various information that's available. The coolest thing on the screen, though, by far, is when you change sport mode. So you have comfort, eco, snow, smart, and sport. Now watch what happens when I change it to sport. It does this really cool explosion animation. Go back to smart, and it's the same as comfort. If you go to eco, it makes everything green, and then snow is the same as everything else. But I love it when you change to sport, kind of blows up and says, hang on, because you're about to get crazy. So while the SE and the SEL get an 8-inch touchscreen display, the limited model gets a 10.25-inch touchscreen display, and it is very nice and very easy to use. This is the home screen where all your widgets are, and you can actually customize the widgets. So go to Edit Home Widgets, and I want to replace Map with Weather. I press and hold, drag it here, and when I go back home, weather will be there for me to view. Slide over one more and you have a bunch of other options. You have Apple CarPlay, you have Android Auto as standard across the lineup. So SE, SEL, and Limited all get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That's awesome. One of my favorite features here is driver talk. So say, for example, in the third row, I have kids back there. They're not listening to me. They're being real jerks, and I want to turn around and yell at them, and I don't want to take my eyes off the road. I just press driver talk. Talk now. And now my voice is being transferred to the third row, and I can tell them, hey, be quiet. I'm trying to concentrate on the road here. And, other things I want to say to them. Other cool feature, quiet mode. So say if your kids are in the back sleeping and you actually want them to be peaceful and get some rest, you can press quiet mode. And over here, it'll move all the media, whatever you're listening to, radio, any Apple CarPlay media, anything is moved only to the front row so the people in the back can get some peace and quiet. But I love this whole infotainment system. They are very, very nicely laid out, non-glitchy, very smooth. And the coolest thing is that you don't have to figure out everything, right? So sometimes you're just messing around with the infotainment system to figure out, I wonder what this setting does. So say I go into, let's go into advanced. Say I go to the advanced screen, and I don't know what custom button means. It'll tell you, please select a function for the custom button. There's a custom button down here that looks like a star. You push that button to go wherever you want to go. You can set it to phone, blue link, phone projection. Steering wheel mode button is one of my favorite features by far, because I hate it when you have to change the mode of the media through the steering wheel and you have to circle through everything and anything. You can just turn it off. You can say, I don't want AM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth audio, or anything else to come up. I just want my FM radio, my USB phone projection, and then it'll only circle through those media selections. Let's talk cameras, because you wouldn't expect it. Hyundai does have one of the best camera systems I've seen in this segment. Press reverse, and your rear view camera comes up, and a 360 bird eye view camera comes up. Very, very cool. And then you can select different things. So you can see the back half of your car. You can see both sides, left and right. And then if I press drive, the camera changes to the front, and I can see the front half. That makes it very easy for when you're parking and you don't want to hit the curb. But yeah, it's an outstanding camera system, very clear, very crisp, simply one of the best in the segment. If you're all about the heated and cooled seat life, make sure you go for the Limited, because you get heated and cooled front seats along with the heated steering. And then you also get heated and cooled second row captain chairs. That is outstanding for a car in this segment. Totally love it. Let's take a tour of the second row. So you have 42.4 inches of rear legroom. Let's hop in and take a quick tour. Oh my God. All right. So you got vents back here on both sides. And then you have your own rear climate control. You have heated and cooled seats, as I mentioned earlier. You have a household power outlet, and you have a cigarette lighter charger right down there. And then behind each of the front seats, you have USB ports for each passenger. Then you have 2 cup holders on each side. And then if you don't want to be bothered, you got your own manual shade, which is really cool. But overall, it's very comfortable back here. The Hyundai Palisade Limited comes with 2 captain chairs, as you can see here. The other models get a bench seating for the second row. But if you want 2 captain chairs for the rear, you need to get the Limited, which comes with heated and cooled second row captain chairs. To get to the third row, you can access it through there, or you can access it through there, and that's what I'm gonna do. The seat moves forward, and then you have 31.4 inches of leg space in the third row. Sorry, let's actually put this back to see how much leg room I have. Not bad. It does feel kind of like a beach chair back here, but either way, you have a USB port and 2 cup holders for each side, and then you're probably wondering what these buttons do here. This is something I haven't seen even in luxury brands. So say you're in the third row and you want to kind of lean back a little bit. So they have automatic seat back adjusters. Let me show you that on the other side in action. So you say you're in the third row and you want to get a little bit more comfortable. That is super cool. That's awesome. On the Limited model, you get a front and rear sunroof, glass, whatever you want to call it. But in the front, to pull it back, it's manual. And for the back, it is automatic. And it covers most of the second and third row. But yes, and then you can just open that front sunroof. Obviously, you can't open this because this isn't a Jeep Wrangler. But yeah, that's how you operate it. It is super windy outside. I don't know if you could hear that. I count a total of 10 cup holders. Front row cup holders are really cool. So say you're not using them and you just need that extra storage area for something else, you can hide them away. But if you need them, you just push this and this, and now you have cup holders. Second row passengers, each side, oh, there's my Dunkin' Donuts. You get 2 cup holders for each side. Right there. And also, third row passengers get 2 cup holders on each side. I don't know why, but it seems like second and third row passengers really want to stay hydrated, so they get 2 cup holders for each thing. But that is the coolest cup holder system I've seen in a while. Now that I've answered all of your questions about the Hyundai Palisade, I'm going to give you my opinion on what this car is all about. I would be doing this while driving, but it is super windy today, so I can't concentrate and film at the same time. But that being said, this car is extremely smooth, extremely luxurious. I honestly think if you take away the Hyundai badges, you would feel like you're sitting in a luxury car. Now, compared to the Kia Telluride for some reason I felt had a more dynamic ride. So if you're looking for something smooth and luxurious, the Hyundai Palisade is the one to go if you're stuck between the two. This segment is loaded with options. You have the Ford Explorer, the Chevy Traverse, the Honda Pilot, the Toyota Highlander, Nissan Pathfinder, Volkswagen Atlas. There's some like legendary options and like really some best-selling options in here. But to be honest, if I were to pick my top 3 of the segment as it currently stands, the Hyundai Palisade, Kia Telluride, and the Mazda CX-9 would be my top picks. They're the perfect balance of luxury, convenience for your family, and comfortable ride quality. You do have sport mode in this car, and sport mode is not something, and 0 to 60 times are not something that anybody in this segment or shopping this segment cares about. Right? They care about comfort, convenience, and is it good enough for their family? These 3 are probably the best for your family in terms of luxury, convenience, and comfortable ride quality. Sport mode here will let you kind of have a little bit of a dynamic ride, like the RPMs will rev higher before it shifts. The steering wheel slightly tightens up, but it's nothing amazing where you're like, oh my God. If you want that, go for the X5M and pay a lot more money. As loaded, you're looking at $47,000, and the amount of stuff you're getting in here is completely ridiculous. You have everything and anything you could ever wish for from a family vehicle, and if you're in the market for a family crossover, I would recommend checking out the Kia Telluride, the Hyundai Palisade, and the Mazda CX-9. Those are my top 3. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe on this YouTube channel, and if you're wondering where I get all these questions from, it's from my Instagram at Omar Drives. So follow me there and submit your questions. I usually do them on the weekends, and all those questions are the questions that I make these videos from. So follow me on Instagram at Omar Drives, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.